and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Good morning. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having an exceptional day. Every day is a chance to enlighten your life, to have the most amazing life possible. Let's consider what I want to talk to you today about. It's called division. Today is Meditation Thursdays, so you need to kind of think about this. This is going to be something that will definitely change the way you look at a situation. And today we're talking about division. So think of division as a problem. How do we engage with a problem? So we can consider it like a rope and or a knot. How do we take that knot apart? Is it like a puzzle? If it's a puzzle, then we have to really evaluate all the pieces that go into it, all of the pieces. Thinking of a problem as a puzzle can probably enlighten you a lot. Think of that, a lot. How can we analyze a problem not as the whole thing, but as the pieces? Take every situation, flip it around. What is this piece? What is that piece? How does this come into it? How does this fit? How does my resolution fit into solving this puzzle? And does the puzzle have to be intact once it's put together? Do we use glue? But are we sure we have all the correct pieces together? Or do we shellac it afterwards and we hang it on the wall? Do we continually go back to it and change it? So consider your situation or problem that you may have as a division, right? Everything has to be divided. Everything has to be put apart. The other thing I want to consider is it an obstacle? So what are the important things that we need to consider when we think of it as an obstacle? So do we need, when it's an obstacle, what is it that we need to do? Do we need to go over it? Do we need to destroy it? Do we need to go around it? Do we need help? So if it's an obstacle, maybe you can't handle it by yourself. You may need someone else to come along and give you that assistance, if you will. So either destroy it, go over it, go around it, ask for help. There's nothing wrong when you are faced with a situation that is difficult, especially if it seems like an obstacle, to ask for help. You don't have to do it all by yourself. Let's consider what I would say is the next part of this whole problem, right? Think of it as, God, as an entanglement or even a maze, right? You have to go around all these different things, almost like the obstacle. But this one, you're not knocking things out. You're going to untangle it. Like, think of like an actual knot. You're going to figure out how it goes together. That's going through a maze. When you take a knot, let's say a really complicated knot, something that's very hard to do, you have to kind of forward think and start looking at how did it even come together? So in order to get to the end, sometimes you have to understand the beginning. How did this problem come about? Who created this problem? Think of every situation, every person that was involved in either creating the problem, participating, or not doing their part because them not participating is what created the problem. Everything that we do every single day, hey, Mandy, thank you for joining me, is evaluate everything that we're doing on a regular basis. So we talked about the three ways that we can look at a problem. One, as if it's a puzzle. What are you doing with it? Are you looking at the bigger picture and say, wow, let me look at this problem, and it probably, how does this fit all these different puzzle pieces that created this problem? Maybe there's a piece missing, and so the puzzle is not complete, and therefore it's a problem. Where's the piece? How do we fill it? I was talking to a client yesterday, and they do Legos with their children, and some of the Legos now are so complicated. They had a huge tray with all these pieces, and all of a sudden they noticed that there was a piece missing. So they could not finish it until they found the piece. And that is how you solve the problem. Where is that missing piece? So what she did is she goes, we have actual pieces that were left over from other Legos that we built. So she went in her attic and went through all the pieces. She knew exactly the piece she was looking for. And she looked and searched, and she found it. I mean, that's determination. That's what we need to do when we face a problem. How do we find that missing piece that can maybe stop it from being a problem? And she did that. And her son was super joyed. But her husband did put his 2 cents in when I was talking to them yesterday. And you know what he said? He goes, it was finished. Everything was beautiful, except for this one piece that looked out of place. And so I said, let me ask you, you did notice this piece, but did you notice it was finished? The problem was solved, not necessarily the way you wanted it to, but the problem was solved. And he agreed. He agreed the problem is solved. So when we consider a problem and looking at it as puzzles, either we have to take it apart and it's no longer a problem, or we have to fill in the pieces that are missing. Then we have to look at the obstacles. What if we see the problem as an obstacle? So there's your division, right? You're trying to divide how this problem has come to fruition, if you will. Consider it. Maybe you have to destroy it. Maybe you have to just don't even give it the time. Maybe you have to go around it, over it, around it. Maybe you need people to assist you in solving that problem. And then the other one is entanglement. Think of it as like this, and all this combobulated, right? And you want to basically separate. Thinking of the end, but let's not forget the beginning. Think of it as a maze. You have to start somewhere. And sometimes you may go down the wrong path. You might hit a roadblock. You have to come back out. And a lot of times when we're in this problem, this maze, if we will, we don't see it from the top. We're seeing it because we're in it. So sometimes, yes, we do have to go this way. And then we have to go left, or we have to go right, or we have to go straight. But take notations of the actions you've taken so that you can not keep going down the same corridor, if you will. So look at your problems and figure out the best solution. Is it a puzzle? Is it an obstacle? Or is it an entanglement that you have to take apart? You have to go through the maze to get to the other side. Remember, don't always think of the end in mind. Think of how it started. Thank you so much for joining me today. That is my advice today for you. The tip is take a look at a problem that you may be facing or even somebody else is facing. This is what I do for a lot of companies. This is what I do for a lot of people. This is why I literally work on teaching people how to communicate, to clear up those problems. So go to speakingprowess.com, join me there. We're going to be opening the platform very soon where we have these amazing, I'm talking amazing instructors who are going to be teaching all kinds of communication courses. That's it. The key is communication. Even now, I told you how to think outside the box on a problem. 3 different ways to look at a problem. And we do that with communication. What is your communication skills? How can you improve them? And are your communication skills making you more money or enhancing your relationships or even connecting with the people you really want to connect? Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. It's going to be another great show. I'll see you then. Do me a favor. It would mean the world to me if you liked, even subscribe to this whole thing that we call New Tip Daily so that you can find new tips on a regular basis. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.